Today, your husband discovered the truth you've been hiding. See what happened next. My beloved child. Don't skip. Today's story begins with a smile that looked perfect, but was quietly protecting a truth no one could see. Every morning, she greeted her husband with the same gentle warmth, served breakfast, laughed at the same little jokes, and made every moment feel ordinary. Yet every evening, when the house became silent, she would disappear into a small locked room for exactly 7 minutes. No excuses. No explanations. Her husband noticed it, but chose to trust her. Until one rainy afternoon, a single forgotten key changed everything. Stay till the end, because what he found was nothing like what anyone could imagine. The key opened a tiny wooden box hidden behind old family photographs. Inside were dozens of handwritten letters, each beginning with the exact same words: "If one day you discover this, please don't judge me before reading the last page." His hands froze. His heartbeat refused to slow down. Every letter carried a different date, stretching back years before they had even met. Why had she never spoken about them? Why hide something so carefully if it was harmless? As he reached for the final envelope, he noticed one sentence written across it in faded ink. "The day you open this, everything you believe about me will change forever. Something huge is waiting for you." Just as he prepared to unfold that final letter, the front door slowly opened. She had returned home much earlier than expected. Their eyes met across the room. She looked at the opened box, then at the letter in his trembling hands. For the first time since they met, she didn't smile. She quietly whispered, "So, today is the day you finally know." Silence filled the room. But what came out of that final letter wasn't betrayal, it was a revelation so unexpected that it would redefine every memory they had ever shared. Don't skip, because the next moment changes everything. A quiet breath escaped her lips as she gently took the letter from his hands, but instead of hiding it again, she placed it back in front of him. "Read every word," she whispered, "because only the last line reveals the real reason. Don't skip." Every sentence pulled him deeper into a story he had never heard before. The letters were never written to hide the truth, they were written to protect someone's future. Names had been crossed out. Dates had been changed. Every page raised a bigger question than the one before. Stay till the end, because nothing is what it seems. The final pages spoke about a promise made many years ago. A promise so important that breaking it would change more than one life. Suddenly, an old photograph slipped from inside the envelope. On the back, only 6 words were written. "The answer has always been beside you." His eyes rushed across the room, searching for something he had ignored every single day. Then he noticed one small object sitting on the shelf, an object that had never seemed important until this very moment. "Something huge is waiting for you." He slowly reached toward it, but before his fingers could touch it, the doorbell rang. One unexpected visitor stood outside with a calm smile and a single sentence: "I believe it's finally time for the whole truth." The room fell completely silent as his wife closed her eyes for just a moment, and then nodded without saying a word. Don't skip, because the next moment reveals the secret that has been waiting all along. The visitor stepped inside without rushing, carrying nothing except a small, weathered notebook. He placed it gently on the table and looked at them both before saying, "Some stories are only understood when every missing piece finds its place. Don't skip." The husband opened the notebook and found page after page filled with familiar moments from their lives, moments no stranger should have known. Every birthday, every celebration, every difficult season had been carefully recorded. Then he reached the final page, where one short sentence stood alone. The greatest truth is often hidden inside the greatest act of love. Stay till the end, because everything is about to connect. His wife quietly walked to the window and finally spoke. "I never wanted you to carry this weight until the right moment arrived." Her voice was calm, yet every word felt heavier than the last. She pointed toward an old family photograph hanging on the wall. Behind its frame was another folded paper that had remained untouched for years. As he unfolded it, he realized the handwriting matched every hidden letter he had just read. His hands trembled. The answers were finally close, but one final detail was still missing. "Something huge is waiting for you." Before he could finish reading, the visitor smiled softly and revealed one final clue. "The person you've been searching for has been closer than you ever imagined." The husband slowly turned around, his heart racing as every memory began fitting together like pieces of a forgotten puzzle. His wife's eyes filled with emotion, not because the secret was ending, but because the biggest revelation was still waiting in the very next moment. Don't skip, because nothing will ever look the same again. The husband looked from the notebook to the hidden letter, then back at his wife. Every unanswered question suddenly pointed toward one simple truth. She had never been hiding from him, she had been protecting him. Don't skip. The visitor quietly explained that years ago, a promise had been made to keep a remarkable family story sealed until the exact right day. Not because it was shameful, but because revealing it too early would have changed the course of their lives forever. Stay till the end, because the final piece is finally about to fall into place. His wife unfolded the very last page and placed it in his hands. There were no long explanations, no dramatic confessions, only a single message written with absolute honesty: love is not measured by the secrets we keep, but by the burdens we choose to carry for the people we cherish. In that instant, every mysterious letter, every quiet evening, and every locked door finally made sense. The hidden truth was never a betrayal. It was a lifelong promise, protected with patience, courage, and unconditional love. Something huge is waiting for you. As the evening sunlight filled the room, the husband smiled through tearful eyes. He gently held her hands, realizing that the greatest discovery of the day wasn't the letters, it was the depth of the person standing beside him all along. The visitor closed the notebook and walked away without another word, leaving behind a silence that felt more powerful than any explanation. And just before the screen fades, one final question remains in your mind. If you had discovered the same truth today, would you have understood it the very first time? The house was quiet again, but this time the silence felt different. It no longer carried questions, it carried understanding. Don't skip. The husband slowly gathered every letter, tied them together with the same ribbon, and placed them back inside the wooden box. "These were never meant to divide us," he said softly. "They were meant to remind us that real love sometimes speaks through patience instead of words. Stay till the end, because one final surprise is still waiting. Just as they prepared to leave the room, he noticed something he had missed from the very beginning. Hidden beneath the box was a tiny envelope with today's date written across it. Neither of them remembered placing it there. With steady hands, he opened it and found a short note. If you're reading this together, then the promise has fulfilled its purpose. Protect each other the way you protected this truth. They looked at one another and smiled, realizing the greatest gift was never the secret itself, it was the trust that had survived every unanswered question. Something huge is waiting for you. As the camera slowly pulls away, the wooden box rests quietly on the table, now unlocked forever. The letters no longer represent mystery. They represent a love that grew stronger because it chose honesty at the right moment. And before the screen fades to black, one final thought stays with you. Sometimes the most unforgettable discovery isn't finding a hidden truth, it's discovering how deeply someone has always cared for you. The story had reached its end, but its meaning had only just begun. Don't skip. Days later, the husband walked past the same little room that once filled him with questions. This time, the door was wide open. There were no locked boxes, no hidden letters, no unanswered moments. Only peace. He smiled, realizing that the greatest chapters of life are not written by perfect days, but by the courage to trust when the answers are still unseen. Stay till the end, because one last message belongs to you. His wife quietly joined him and placed the final letter into a family album. One day, she said, someone else may read this and learn that love is strongest when it is built on patience, kindness, and faith in each other. He nodded without speaking. Every fear that had once filled his heart had disappeared, replaced by something far greater, gratitude. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's not hidden in a box. It's hidden in the way we choose to stand beside the people we love, even before we know the whole story. As the evening sky turned golden, they walked forward together, leaving the past exactly where it belonged. The camera slowly faded as one final thought appeared. The biggest truth wasn't the secret that was uncovered, it was the love that remained unshaken after everything was revealed. And perhaps, the greatest discoveries in life are not about finding hidden answers, but about discovering the strength that was already in your heart all along. The next morning, sunlight poured through the windows as if the house itself had been waiting for a new beginning. Don't skip. The husband paused beside the family album one last time, then quietly closed it with a smile. The past has given us its lesson, he said. Now it's time to create memories that never need to be hidden. His wife looked at him with peaceful eyes, knowing that trust had become stronger than any secret they had ever carried. Stay till the end. Because the final gift of this journey is waiting. As they stepped outside together, they noticed a small tree they had planted years ago. It had grown taller than either of them remembered. They stood there in silence, realizing that love grows the same way, not all at once, but little by little, through every season. In that moment, they made a quiet promise to always choose honesty, patience, and understanding before fear. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the greatest victories are often the ones no one else can see. The camera slowly rises as they walk toward the horizon, leaving every question behind and carrying only hope into tomorrow. A gentle voice closes the story with one unforgettable thought: the most valuable treasure was never hidden inside the letters, it was the unbreakable bond they discovered within each other. And as the screen fades to black, one final message remains in your heart. Sometimes, the happiest ending is simply finding out that love was telling the truth all along. My beloved child, if you've stayed until this very moment, you've witnessed something far greater than a hidden mystery. Don't skip. You watched two hearts walk through doubt, silence, and unanswered questions, only to discover that trust is sometimes the greatest truth of all. The letters may have started this journey, but they were never the destination. They were simply the path that led two people to understand each other in a way they never had before. Something huge was waiting for you, and it was hidden inside the meaning of every moment. As the final chapter closes, the wooden box remains on the shelf, not as a symbol of secrets, but as a reminder that every relationship is built one choice at a time. Every smile, every sacrifice, every quiet promise matters more than we realize. The husband and wife leave that room with lighter hearts, knowing they no longer need locked doors or hidden letters. Their future is now written together, with nothing left to fear and everything left to cherish. Stay till the end, because this last thought is for you. The screen slowly fades as one final message appears: the greatest discoveries in life are not the secrets we uncover, they are the people who never stopped loving us while we searched for the truth. And just before everything goes silent, one final smile reminds you that sometimes the ending you never expected becomes the one you never forget. The story may have ended, but its echo remained in every corner of their home. Don't skip. Weeks passed, yet the wooden box was never locked again. Instead, it became a quiet reminder that honesty always finds its moment. Every time they walked past it, they smiled. Not because they remembered the mystery, but because they remembered the strength they found together. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's hidden in the smallest moments. One peaceful evening, the husband placed a blank sheet of paper inside the box. His wife looked at him with surprise. He smiled and said, "This letter isn't for the past, it's for our future." Together, they wrote a promise to always choose trust before doubt, kindness before assumptions, and patience before fear. They sealed the envelope, not to hide it, but to open it years later and remember the day everything changed. As the camera slowly pulls away, the box rests quietly beside the family album, no longer carrying unanswered questions, only beautiful memories. The final image lingers for a moment before fading into silence, leaving one unforgettable thought: the strongest relationships are not the ones that never face mystery, they are the ones that choose love after the mystery is gone. The years moved forward, but that unforgettable day never faded from their hearts. Don't skip. Every anniversary, they opened the wooden box together, not to search for another secret, but to remember the lesson that transformed their lives. The husband would smile and say, "The greatest gift I ever found wasn't hidden inside these letters, it was hidden inside your heart." She smiled back, knowing that some discoveries become more valuable with time. Stay till the end. Because one final thought is waiting for you. One quiet evening, they invited their family to gather around the old table. The wooden box was placed in the center, untouched. Instead of opening it, they shared the story of trust, patience, and understanding that had brought them there. Everyone listened in complete silence, realizing that the greatest moments in life are not created by extraordinary events, but by ordinary people choosing love again and again. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the biggest miracle is often the one that changes your heart forever. As the final frame appears, the camera slowly rises above their home while warm light fills every corner. A gentle voice says, "Every hidden truth eventually finds its moment, but only a heart filled with trust can truly understand it." The screen fades to black, leaving one last message that stays long after the video ends. Some stories finish with answers, but the unforgettable ones finish by changing the person who heard them. Long after the story became a cherished memory, one question still remained in the husband's heart. "Don't skip. What if I had opened that box years earlier?" he asked with a gentle smile. His wife looked at the sunrise and quietly replied, "Then you would have found the same letters, but not the same understanding." In that moment, he realized that truth has its own perfect timing. Stay till the end, because this final reflection is meant for you. He walked to the shelf one last time and carefully placed the wooden box beside the family album forever. It was no longer a place where mysteries were kept. It had become a symbol of trust, patience, and unwavering love. Looking around the room, he understood something that had taken years to learn: the strongest relationships are not built because every answer comes quickly. They are built because two people choose each other while waiting for those answers. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is this simple realization. As the screen slowly fades away, a calm voice leaves you with one unforgettable thought: the greatest discovery was never inside the letters. It was the moment two hearts realized that trust is more powerful than doubt. And with that, the journey comes to a peaceful close, reminding you that some endings don't just finish a story. They quietly begin a better life. One final thought remained after every question had found its answer. My beloved child, if you've walked through this journey from the very beginning, you've discovered that the greatest surprises in life are not always hidden inside locked boxes, they are hidden inside faithful hearts. Don't skip. Every quiet moment, every unanswered question, and every patient choice led to a single truth: real love grows stronger when trust refuses to disappear. Stay till the end, because this last message belongs to you. The wooden box stayed exactly where it had always been, but now it carried a completely different meaning. It no longer represented mystery. It represented courage, hope, and the power of believing in someone even when every answer wasn't visible. The husband and wife looked at each other with grateful smiles, knowing they had gained something far more valuable than the truth they had searched for. They had gained an unshakable bond that nothing could ever replace. Something huge was waiting for you, and it was the reminder that the strongest relationships are built one act of trust at a time. As the screen gently fades into the morning light, a final message appears: the most unforgettable endings are the ones that leave your heart stronger than it was at the beginning. And with that, their story becomes a timeless reminder that patience can reveal hope, trust can overcome uncertainty, and love, when protected with kindness, can turn even the greatest mystery into the most beautiful beginning. My beloved child, if this story has stayed with you until now, then one final truth deserves to be heard. Don't skip. Some journeys are remembered because of the mystery they reveal. Others are remembered because they quietly change the way we see the people we love. This was never just the story of a husband discovering a hidden truth. It was the story of two hearts discovering that trust is stronger than fear, patience is stronger than doubt, and love is strongest when it chooses understanding before judgment. Stay till the end, because the last message is the most important one. As time continued to pass, the letters slowly faded, the ink grew lighter, and the wooden box became older. Yet the lesson inside never changed. Every visitor who entered their home noticed the small box on the shelf, but no one asked what it contained. They didn't need to. The smiles on the couple's faces had already revealed the answer. Some truths are not meant to be spoken aloud, they are meant to be lived every single day. Something huge is waiting for you, and perhaps it has been with you all along. The final frame lingers for a quiet moment before disappearing into light. A gentle voice whispers one last thought. The greatest discovery is never the secret you uncover, it's the love that remains after every question has been answered. And with that, the journey comes to its peaceful end, leaving behind MEM.